Is there anything creepier than an abandoned theme park? A place where laughter and children's giggles once drifted through the air, with brightly colored Ferris wheels and thrilling rides leaving everlasting memories. But after being abandoned, they become home to apocalyptic scenes of decaying rides and roller coasters, slowly reclaimed by Mother Nature. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today, we're talking about 10 world's creepiest abandoned theme parks. Number 10, Atlantis Marine Park. Opened in 1981, Atlantis Marine Park brought tourists from across the globe to a small town called Two Rocks in Perth, Australia. The park enticed visitors with water-based features like live dolphin shows and pedal boat rides. Unfortunately, financial difficulties following the 1987 stock market crash forced the park to close after merely 9 years. A home to belugas and exciting tourists became a home for vandals and plant life. Number 9. Dadipark. Located in Antwerp, Belgium, Dadipark provided affordable and unforgettable experiences. Unfortunately for one young boy, his memorable experience involved losing an arm while riding on the Nautic jet ride. Following extreme backlash from visitors and complaints about other safety concerns, the park closed in 2002. Today, not much is left at the abandoned park besides ruined equipment and an eerie atmosphere. Plans are reportedly underway to turn the park into a new recreation area. However, will any renovations be enough to eliminate the horrific memories of the past? Number 8. Dreamland Park. Dreamland Park was surrounded by a dark past right from the beginning, and it would only continue to get darker. Built in the 1930s, the park was open for less than 2 decades before it was shut down for gambling charges and ties to the mafia. Then, in 1969, Dreamland Park made headlines again. Due to the wooded and secluded area, the park was a popular destination for couples to enjoy a romantic drive and a little private time. One night in August 1969, 18 years old Marilyn Scheckler and 20 years old Glenn Eckert came to the park and never be seen alive again. Their decomposing remains were discovered feet from each other in shallow graves nearly 2 months later by state police. Autopsies concluded that Marilyn had been raped repeatedly and beaten, her head severely damaged, while Glenn had been shot in the forehead and had also been beaten. Detectives immediately suspected members of the pagan motorcycle gang. Apparently, they had arrested 10 members of the gang for beating and stabbing 3 men in the parking lot of Dreamland Park. That same night, Marilyn and Glenn were last seen. 22 years old Robert Martinowicz and 24 years old Leroy Stoltzfus were ultimately arrested for the murders of the couple. Martinowicz and Stoltzfus were both found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. Both maintained their innocence and appealed their cases until they each died while incarcerated. Number 7. Dogpatch. The ownership of Dogpatch, located in Arkansas, changed hands several times before the park closed in 2002. It was put on eBay for $1 million in 2002, but there were no bids. In 2005, a teenager, with the owner's permission, as he says, was driving through the park when he collided with a length of wire strung between 2 trees and nearly lost his head. After a successful lawsuit, he became the owner of Dogpatch because the previous owners failed to pay compensation. Rumors say the grand reopening is planned. Number 6. Spreepark. Berlin's Spreepark opened in 1969 and was East Germany's only amusement park and welcomed 1.5 million visitors a year in its heyday. Due to falling visitor numbers, owner Norbert Witt shut it in 2001. He packed 6 of the park's most popular rides into shipping containers, sending them to Peru. A new park in Lima never quite took off, but Witt's problems grew when some of the rides were shipped back to Germany, where customs officers discovered 167 kilograms of cocaine hidden in the mast of the flying carpet. Tours of the abandoned park ran until 2019, when the city council built a perimeter fence to protect the remaining rides. Number 5. Brandywine Springs. Brandywine Springs Amusement Parks, located in Wilmington, Delaware, was a solid example of early 20th century fun. A castle house, train, wooden roller coaster, restaurants, and a magnificent archway led into the park. In 1916, tragedy struck the park. Samuel Gongas tried to advance Catherine Boudecki, a waitress at the restaurant. She turned his advances, so he got upset, shot and killed her, then set fire to the park's restaurant, railway, photo gallery, and some concession stands. The park would close 7 years later when automobiles made it easier for people to travel and park admission declined. Concrete slabs and muddy pools remain in the amusement park today. Local historians are working on excavating and marking sites where the major attractions were located, putting up signs and photographs to educate those tourists who walk through the site. Number 4. Gulliver's Kingdom Amusement Park. Located in the shadow of Mount Fuji in Japan, this unique theme park was designed drawing inspiration from the 18th century story Gulliver's Travels. The park is famous for featuring a 147-foot-long statue of Lemuel Gulliver, the main character from the novel, tied down to the ground. The park shut down in 2000 and won after 4 years due to poor ticket sales. One of the reasons is the park's close proximity to the Aokigahara Forest, Japan's infamous suicide forest. Despite demolishing in 2007, the grounds still feature odd structures that give trespassers the feeling that they're not alone in the park. Number 3. Land of Oz, North Carolina. You won't want to follow the yellow brick road in this Land of Oz, North Carolina. It will lead you to one of the creepiest sites in the US. The 16-acre Wizard of Oz themed park went viral when it first opened in 1970. However, interest began to decline shortly after opening, and the park became almost completely deserted. Then, in 1975, a fire destroyed parts of the park, and the park was officially abandoned. The park still opens its gates a few days a year, around Halloween time, to scare those visitors brave enough to explore. Number 2. Six Flags, New Orleans. Six Flags in New Orleans fell out of business following severe damage from Hurricane Katrina in 2005. The park opened in 2000 and only operated for a few years before suffering significantly during a hurricane that displaced 20,000 people and killed nearly 2,000. The park closed, and there wasn't enough funding for repairs, so it fell into further decay over the last few years. Today, it remains an eerie sign at the park entrance that says, "Closed for the storm." It's an apocalyptic site that Hollywood has taken advantage of and used for films such as Jurassic World and Dawn of Planet of the Apes. Number 1. Pripyat Amusement Park. Maybe the most horrible history behind an amusement park is one that never came to be. Pripyat Amusement Park in Ukraine was supposed to open on May 1, 1986. Still, 5 days before its scheduled opening, the Chernobyl disaster occurred nearby, with 30 deaths in the months following the explosion. The park included attractions, bumper cars, swing boats, a swing carousel, and a Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel still stands today and remains the signature of Pripyat, an unfinished towering over the scene of destruction. The park's bumper cars are the strongest area of radiation due to the overgrown vegetation. It is believed to be opened early for one day, April 27, to calm people from the disaster before they were forced to pack up their belongings and be bussed out of the city to never return home. Today, the whole city of Pripyat, with the unfinished theme park, is a destination for dark tourism, guided tours through the Chernobyl ruins and abandoned towns. But what is the creepiest park on today's list for you? Leave your opinion in the comments section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss an upload and you can enjoy the excellent content I send your way.